Now, somebody asked me a question the other day about that planting tower that I built a couple of years back. They asked me if I still used it or did I just do it for the telly. I think they meant for YouTube. No, I still use it. I still use it every year and I find it quite invaluable. Now, for those who haven't seen the planting tower and know what I'm talking about, it's actually how we took an old compost bin, which is about this wide at the bottom, like that. And we stood it on a bit of ground where normally you'd be able to get about 8 or 9 plants. And in that compost bin, we managed to get 46. I know. So in literally that much space by that much space, 46 plants. Now, if your yard's tiny, or you've got a balcony or a cupboard to grow in, that's what you need. So I've put a link down below. But if you want to see what I'm doing with it round the corner, come and have a look now, because I'm just about to start planting it up. Let's go and check it out. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the garden. And today I'm just working on these vertical gardens. You might remember we built these a couple of years back now from old composters that someone had thrown away. And I'm not sure if you missed it. Look, I'll put a link down below. And it really was a bit of a challenge. Somebody asked me how many plants I reckoned I could get out of a square metre, and I went away and had a bit of a scratch of the head, and I came back and thought, well, do you know what? If I put them on the ground, I might get 9, 12 if I'm lucky. But if I use a bit of an old composter or an old dustbin and I plant vertically, I can get 46. So that's what I did. And each year I'll grow in here either spinach or flowers. I'll have courgettes in the top. I've had them covered in calabrese and cabbages, all sorts of things. Today I'm just restocking it really, and all I do for that is I've dug out the old compost, or a lot of the old compost that's inside it. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that. Is that not just gorgeous? And in the bottom, I'm just going to put in a bit more of that old horse dung. I mean, I'm using this horse dung everywhere. It's absolutely ideal for just freshening things up a little bit, you know. So the idea behind this was to create a number of planting pockets that little plants could sit in. And so all I do is put the compost back in again, and because it's so lovely and light, there are no problems in actually pushing the plants right into it. I'm going to put a little bit more of this stuff in the middle, just to keep it nice and fresh and healthy. Now, there is one problem with the likes of this, and the problem is that if I'm watering from the top, then the plants that's on the top get all of the water, and some of it rarely reaches the bottom. So I found that the plants that's right on the bottom stunt a little bit. So what I've done in the past is, rather than come up with a solution to that, I've actually just come up with an excuse not to plant veg in the bottom, and I've put nasturtiums in instead. Now you can see I've got a big thick bed of old sawdust here, so it's perfect for other things like courgettes, or maybe a pumpkin or some squash. All I've got to make sure is there's plenty of water can get down there. And then I thought about this. It's a bit of old pipe, and I've used it in the past for irrigation. In fact, I had a little hydroponic setup once, and I used these things to grow in. Now, I was just thinking that if I stick this into the middle of there, and then if I earth it right up to the top, I can use this like a worm tower inside. So I can put vegetables in there from the kitchen waste, have some worms in there, and then water it through there as well. So the excess water will just run straight through and out the bottom. But what it means is that all the feed from that worm tower will go right down and feed all the bigger plants that's on the bottom, likes of the pumpkins and that. I'm thinking the butternut squash actually, because then the root can go inside, but the plant itself can kind of come out and go all over the place. So we've got this on here. I don't need to put too much in there, but I'm a bit concerned about the size of these holes, because I reckon with holes that size, anything I put in there, like some veggie and that, I won't even just put the soil in there, might be a bit of a problem. So rather than have the soil go in as I fill it up again, I thought I could just get some of the veg and stuff in here now that will actually start to fill up some of those holes. And this is just stuff out of the house, you know. Manky old carrots. Oh, look at that one, that's a bit bendy. Old bananas that's gone a bit too far. Can't wait until my cucumbers are ready. I don't know why we buy these from the supermarket, because they're absolutely blimmin' rubbish. I think probably the healthiest thing that's on this might be the polythene. At least it'll go right through you. The rest of the cucumbers are a waste of time. They go rotten so quickly, even if you keep them in the fridge, you know. They just rot. I think they get bruised a lot, get battered. So we'll just chuck that in as well. Now, I'm also putting in a bit of tea bags. I feel a bit like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, you know, or the professor when he's putting banana skins in a can of Coke in the top of his car. So we'll just chuck all them in there. Now, I also know that worms do like a wee bit of bread in there, a bit of yeast. So that can go in there as well, and that's filling it up quite nicely. That's now filled right up, so as I put the soil in place now, it won't go into the tube. But when I start putting some worms in there, the worms, as they break that down, will go backwards and forwards into here, taking that compost it's making backwards and forwards. Bob's your uncle, everybody's happy. So let's get it buried in there now, and we'll pop some plants in. There we go. So that's the bin filled right up now. Now, if you didn't see how we actually built this, I urge you to go and have a look at it. Follow that link down below, because it's really very easy to build it. You can't buy these. They don't make them. You get these silly little stacking things you can maybe grow herbs in, but they don't make anything like this. So maybe if you're a manufacturer, you need to start making these for people. Because if in 4 square feet of ground I can get 45 plants in there, that's a pretty good yield. All I've got to do is make sure it gets well watered. Now, I've got it right next to me water barrel, so it's quite easy. Just keep an eye on it and just put a dunk in every now and again. So I'm going to give it a bit of a watering now, and then I'll come back to you. So there you go. The worm tower's in. It's filled up with all the rotten veg from the kitchen waste. I've soaked everything inside here, and I've got a few bits and pieces in plants and seed which I'm going to get put in now. So I've got a few of these little chardy here. I mean, I've been putting these in all over the place, and all you do is really, you make a little hole, you stick your little plug in, and then that's it. Push the one down from the one above. That gives you the next hole to put your next plant in. As you work up, look, put the next one in there, push down on that one. Bit of extra maybe. Now, you can plant anything you want in these. They're really good for herbs, they're good for salad veg, for lettuces, you can do radishes. You can grow anything in here that doesn't need a big area to grow in. I mean, if you were going to put in Angelica, you know, you wouldn't put that in here. But you could put a little bit of basil in here and it would just grow out quite nicely. I tend to use it for what I call my quick crops, you know, the spinaches and the chards and that. And then they come through very quickly. You're starting to get a harvest straight away. And that just makes me feel good when I start pulling out my own plants and, you know, start eating them. Give them to my family and my friends, maybe. Now, this is a Japanese spinach here. I'll pop it round the back. It's called Mikado. Never had it before. Somebody online will probably tell me it's not Japanese now. So I'll just pop that in there. Bury that in nicely. So we'll pop a few of them in. And round the back, I always tend to put some nasturtium seeds in. And obviously the reason that I do that is just that not only do I like nasturtiums, but then they'll spread out all around here. I enjoy nasturtiums as a salad veg. Not a lot of people are aware of it, but you can eat everything on the nasturtium, really. You know, the The stem and the leaves are very peppery and beautiful. The flowers are delicate and go in with the salad. And if you leave them until the seeds come up, they're like little spicy curry bombs. You know, they eat them like that straight from the plant. Or I put them in a little jar and top them up with vinegar. And they're like capers when I have my cocktails at 3 o'clock. I like mixing together all the different plants as well, you know. I've never been one for having just a plot of this or a plot of that or a box of this. I think it's a bit of a waste. I think plants like to grow together and they like to talk to each other. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these mizunas come out like. Oh, they're not mizunas. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these Mikados come out like. Okay, now this is some old spinach seed. Yeah, best before October 23. Well, we'll see. Now this stuff is... Can you see it? It's bright green, and that's because it's pelleted. The reason was I used to have a very big garden. I had an acre, and I had one of these push seeder machines, you know, and they put the seeds in, but they didn't like to work on any seed that wasn't purely round. So I found if I bought the pelleted seed, my seeder machine, my earthway seeder would just plant the seeds in a beautiful row, and I could get a load done in a short time. So all I'm going to do with these is I'm going to chuck a few in each of these ones on the top. And the idea behind this is it gives me a bit of a rotation, because this stuff will be through to eat very quickly. The spinach will take a little bit longer to come through. So all I've done is I've thrown it straight in there, and then just a handful of the soil mix on the top. That's all it needs. The question is, will I remember what I've planted and where? And of course the answer is not a fat chance in heaven. Get the labels out, get the old pen out, and just remind myself it's spinach. There we go. Pop a label in. I know what the rest of them are. Now beside it on both sides, traditionally this is where I grow my giant sunflowers. So you can see what I get is, I get this one here planted up with salad veggies, I get this one here planted up with calabrese and whatever, and then I get these giant sunflowers in the middle, and they all provide a nice kind of shade for the peppers and the tomatoes and cucumbers that I'll have grown inside the greenhouse. So as you can see, I've popped a couple of French beans in here. Now these are the dwarf variety. I've got an addiction on these beans, you know. They're just so beautiful. Now there's only one thing that's needed to finish this off, and that is we need Gordon here to scare the pigeons away. There he is. Every time the wind blows, Gordon's head wobbles around a bit. Now I haven't put the nasturtiums on the bottom yet, but I will. So you've got spinach and chard, French beans and a Gordon, all in a couple of square feet. Now, what should I put in this one? Any ideas?